You got the quote, you're staring at the number, and the only thought in your head is this even a fair price? If you've ever felt that, you are not alone, and honestly, you've been kept in the dark on purpose. Renovation pricing in Baltimore is one of the most confusing, least transparent things a homeowner ever deals with. Two contractors can look at the same kitchen and hand you bids $10,000 apart, and you're left wondering which one is lying to you. So today, we're doing something most contractors will never do on camera. We're opening the books. I'm going to walk you through 5 real projects we actually built here in the Baltimore area, what they included, what they cost, and why. Then I'm going to give you honest, real-world pricing on the 2 rooms everyone asks about, kitchens and bathrooms. I'll show you how to budget so a renovation doesn't blindside you, and I'll give you the exact red flags that tell you a quote is too good to be true. No sales pitch, just real numbers. Let's get into it. Quick word on who we are, so you know these numbers come from real job sites and not a spreadsheet. We're Monarch Bay Renovations, a licensed and insured general contractor based right here in Baltimore. We do kitchens, bathrooms, basements, whole home remodels, and full gut rehabs across the city and the surrounding counties. We've worked on everything from 100-year-old row homes downtown to single-family homes out in the county. So when I give you a number today, it's a number we've actually charged on an actual home for actual work. Here's the first thing nobody tells you. There is no flat price for a bathroom or a basement. The same room can cost $7,000 or $25,000, and both numbers can be completely fair. 4 things move that needle, and once you understand them, you'll be able to look at any quote and know whether it makes sense. Factor 1, scope. Are we refreshing or rebuilding? New paint, new flooring, and new fixtures in the same footprint is one price. Tearing out walls and moving plumbing to change the entire layout is a different planet. Most homeowners dramatically underestimate how much "while we're at it, let's move the wall" actually costs. Factor 2, the age of the house. And in Baltimore, this is enormous. We work in a lot of row homes built 80, 100, 120 years ago. Beautiful, solid homes, but behind those plaster walls you find knob and tube wiring, cast iron drain stacks, balloon framing, and the occasional surprise that has to be fixed before the fun part even starts. An older home isn't worse, it just carries more unknowns, and unknowns cost money. Factor 3, materials. This is the one you actually control. Stock cabinets versus custom, laminate counters versus quartz, builder-grade fixtures versus designer. The labor to install can be nearly identical, while the material bill doubles or triples. We'll talk about exactly where your money goes the furthest in the kitchen and bath sections. Factor 4, the unknowns. The honest contractor budgets for what's behind the wall, because in an older home, there is always something behind the wall. The contractor who gives you a suspiciously clean, low number is often the one who hasn't planned for reality, and you'll pay for that optimism later in change orders. Keep those 4 factors in mind, because you're about to watch them play out in real dollars across 5 projects. We'll start small, because not every project is a gut job, and honestly, the small ones are where homeowners get the best return. This one's a basement in Hallathorpe. The homeowner had a dry, structurally sound basement that just looked and felt unfinished. Bare concrete slab, cold underfoot, the kind of space you avoid. They didn't want a full finish with framed walls, insulation, and a drop ceiling. They just wanted the floor to feel like part of the house. So the scope was tight and smart. We prepped the slab, installed durable luxury vinyl plank flooring rated for below-grade moisture, and trimmed it out clean. That's it. Total, $3,700. The lesson here is the most underrated one in all of remodeling. You don't always need the biggest version of the project. A focused, well-chosen upgrade can completely change how a space feels for a fraction of a full renovation. The homeowners who get the most value out of us aren't the ones who spend the most. They're the ones who spend on the right thing. If your basement is dry and solid, sometimes the floor is the whole project. Don't let anyone talk you into framing out walls you don't need. Next, a bathroom, but a specific kind. This was a tub-to-shower conversion. An older homeowner who could no longer safely step over the high wall of a bathtub. So we removed the old tub and built a low-threshold walk-in shower in its place, with the right waterproofing and a clean, modern finish. Total, $7,200. Now, that is not a full bathroom remodel. We didn't move the toilet or the vanity, we didn't retile the entire room, we didn't touch the layout. This was a targeted accessibility upgrade, and it's a perfect example of cost-matching scope. Same room a full remodel would touch, but roughly a third of the price, because we solved the one problem that actually mattered. This is also where I want to plant a flag, because it's something Baltimore needs more of. Aging in place work. Walk-in showers, grab bars installed into real blocking, curbless entries, threshold ramps, is one of the most valuable and most overlooked renovations there is. It lets people stay in the home they love instead of moving. We do a lot of it, including work under special needs and care arrangements, and it rarely costs what people are afraid it will. If you're caring for an aging parent, this is worth a conversation. Now we step up, a home in Randallstown, and a much more involved accessibility remodel, reconfiguring a bedroom and bathroom area to genuinely work for someone with serious mobility needs. This is the kind of work where the renovation isn't a luxury, it's what makes daily life possible. Total, just over $25,000. So why the jump? From $7,200 on the last project to $25,000 on this one. Go right back to our 4 factors. The scope grew. We're touching multiple rooms now, not one fixture. The work crossed into plumbing and layout changes, not just surfaces. And the finishes had to meet real functional requirements, turning radius for a wheelchair, reinforced walls, proper clearances, not just look nice in a photo. Here's the takeaway, and it's a big one. When a project crosses from replace a fixture into change how the space is laid out, you cross a cost line. Moving walls, moving plumbing, moving electrical. That's the threshold where a few $1,000s becomes a few tens of thousands. It's not the contractor gouging you. It's the genuine difference between cosmetic work and structural work. Knowing where that line sits is what lets you plan honestly instead of getting sticker shock. Project 4, a home in White Marsh, and a much broader scope. A combination of interior improvements and exterior work, including outdoor living space, all handled as one coordinated project. Total just under $55,000. And here's what's important about this one. It wasn't one expensive room, it was many improvements, bundled into a single, managed job, which is actually the smart way to do it. When you tackle several projects under one contractor, on one schedule with one mobilization, you save real money on the overhead of starting and stopping 5 separate times. Every time a contractor packs up and comes back months later, you pay for that setup again. If there's one strategic lesson in this entire video, it's this. Homeowners who phase their work intelligently or bundle it together get far more home for their money than homeowners who do random one-off projects scattered over 10 years. Sit down, make a 5-year plan for your house, and attack it in smart groupings. A plan beats a pile of projects every single time. And finally, the big one, the full gut rehab. This is taking a house down to the studs, sometimes all the way down to the brick, and rebuilding it from the inside out. New electrical, new plumbing, new HVAC, new layout, new everything. I'm not going to give you a single number here because that would be dishonest. A gut rehab is the single most variable project in this whole business. But I will give you the honest truth from the projects we've actually done. Our full gut rehabs have generally run from the low $60,000s up past $300,000. A modest row home rehab lives near the bottom of that range. A large home with premium finishes, a full systems replacement, and maybe an addition or a third floor, that's the top. What drives a number that big? Everything we've talked about, all firing at once. Full scope, top to bottom, an old structure full of surprises, brand new everything for materials, and the deepest unknowns, because when you open up every wall in a century-old house, you find every shortcut the last 100 years of owners ever took. This is the project where choosing a licensed, experienced, properly insured contractor stops being optional, because the ways a gut rehab can go wrong are the expensive, dangerous ways. Okay, let's talk about the room you actually came here for. The kitchen. It's the #1 search, the #1 renovation, and the #1 place people get quotes that are all over the map. So here's our honest range. A mid-level kitchen remodel with us generally runs $19,000 to $35,000. That's a wide range on purpose, so let me show you what moves you within it. What's included in that number? New cabinetry, new countertops in granite or quartz, durable luxury vinyl plank flooring, and the skilled labor to install all of it correctly. What pushes you toward the bottom of the range? Keeping your existing layout, same spots for the sink, stove, and fridge, and choosing quality stock cabinets. What pushes you toward the top? Moving the layout, which means moving plumbing and electrical, custom or semi-custom cabinetry, high-end stone, and opening up a wall to the living room, which everybody wants and which is real structural work. Two honest pieces of advice. First, on countertops. Granite and quartz are both excellent. And with us, an eased edge profile is the default because it looks clean and lasts. The price difference between good and luxury stone is smaller than people think. The cabinets are usually where your money actually goes. Second, on appliances. We usually quote those separately because most homeowners have a brand and a budget in mind. If you do want us to include them, a solid standard package runs roughly $2,700 to $3,500, and we'll never mark it up to pad the job. A typical kitchen like this takes a few weeks. And yes, you'll be without a kitchen for part of it. Plan for that. Now the bathroom, the second most searched, most quoted room in the house. And this is where the conversion versus full remodel distinction we talked about earlier really matters for your wallet. A full bathroom remodel with us generally runs $15,000 to $19,000. That's a true down-to-the-studs bathroom. New tile, new vanity, new toilet, new tub or shower, new fixtures, new waterproofing done the right way so you're not looking at mold in 5 years. That is a very different project from the $7,200 tub to shower conversion in Project 2, where we left most of the room alone. Where does the money go in a bathroom? Tile and waterproofing labor is the big one. A properly built, fully waterproof shower is meticulous, skilled work, and it's the part you absolutely do not want done cheaply, because water always wins. Want a frameless glass enclosure instead of a curtain or a framed door? It's a beautiful upgrade, and you should budget about $2,200 on top for it. Heated floors, custom niches, double vanities, all lovely, all add up. And notice, everything I just gave you for kitchens and baths is a range, not a price. Anyone who gives you an exact to-the-dollar number before they've seen your actual home is guessing. And you should wonder what else they're guessing about. Before we get to red flags, let me give you the budgeting rule that will save your sanity. Whatever your project costs, set aside an extra 10 to 15% as a contingency, a cushion for the surprises behind the wall, especially in an older Baltimore home. If you don't end up needing it, fantastic. But the homeowners who get burned emotionally are the ones who budgeted to the exact penny and then panicked at the first change order. And one more thing, because it's the question we get most. Yes, you can finance a renovation. We offer financing, which means a project that feels out of reach as a lump sum this year might be very doable as a monthly payment. Sometimes the smart move isn't to shrink the project, it's to fund it properly and do it once correctly. Before you sign anything, here are the warning signs we'd tell our own family to watch for. The suspiciously low bid. If one quote comes in dramatically under all the others, that is not a deal. That's a contractor who either missed something in the scope, plans to discover it mid-job and hit you with change orders, or is cutting a corner you won't see until it fails. The lowest bid is very often the most expensive one by the time it's done. No permits. Real renovations in Baltimore need permits, and inspections exist to protect you. A contractor who wants to skip them to save time is protecting themselves, not you. And unpermitted work can absolutely wreck a future home sale when it shows up on inspection. The vague scope. Renovate bathroom, $15,000. That's not a contract, that's a trap. Your proposal should spell out exactly what's included, what's not, the materials, and what happens if there's a surprise. A serious contractor puts it in writing because they want you to know what you're getting, and no license. In Maryland, home improvement contractors are licensed by the state. That's the MHIC number. If they can't give you one, walk away, no exceptions. That license is your single biggest protection if anything ever goes wrong. So, 5 real projects, from $3,700 to over $300,000, plus honest pricing on the 2 rooms everyone asks about. The big lesson? There is no flat price. There is only your home, your scope, and an honest number for the work it actually needs. If you want that honest number for your project, that's exactly what we do. We're Monarch Bay Renovations, licensed, insured, and Baltimore-based, and an estimate is always free. We offer financing too, so a project that feels out of reach this year might not be. Call us at 443-602-9300 or find us at monarchbaymd.com. And if this video just saved you from a bad quote, do me a favor and subscribe, because we break down real Baltimore projects exactly like this one every week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.